been so snowy.
I'm waking up to it.
Almost sounds like Flea could be on the bass here, maybe.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Oh, cowbell.
Ooh.
I like me
Bass,
some
that's the
cowbell.
bass. Well, dude, it's time to stop our fake Red Hot Chili Peppers because we're back live on another episode of TFLnow Live. Welcome to the show, guys.
Happy Monday, guys.
Happy
We sincerely hope that all of you guys in California are safe, and we wanted to give a quick shout out before we start anything else.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard, but unfortunately, one of the creators of the Marvel comic series, Stan Lee, has passed away today at the age of 95 years old. I love all the Marvel movies, all the comics, so rest in peace, Stan Lee. I hope you guys are with us on that one.
Yes. Okay, enough with the bad news. Let's get into the good news.
The bad news. Today is all about the 2018 Los Angeles International Auto Show because it's coming up in about 2 weeks here exactly.
That's correct. And between now and then, there's a lot of other things that are happening, and we may not be able to talk about these issues. So, most importantly, we got some really cool vehicles that are going to be popping out at the LA Auto Show.
Oh, yeah. We've got basically all the new models, the new trim levels, facelifted models, basically everything new that's coming out at LA this year that we know about right now, we're going to be talking about in this show today. So we're going to kick off with an interesting new electric car from a new startup in China. Plus, we're going to go through a bunch of the most important debuts in LA this year. And these are some of the most important cars that are coming to this year's event. I mean, this LA show is shaping up to be a really good show, I think.
Yeah, up to 60 different debuts at the show. Now, bear in mind, some of those are North American debuts, some of them are LA debuts, you know what I mean? So we're covering the ones that have some meat on them.
Exactly. So while we're doing this, while we're going through all the new cars for this year's LA show, we want to know which ones you guys are most excited to see in the live chat. So, of course, drop us some comments down below. And if you enjoy our live show here on YouTube, please support us through YouTube's Super Chat feature. We have different little throwbacks that we like to give to you guys depending on your donation. So if you send $5, you'll get your name on the hood. $10, a bumper sticker from TFL Truck. $25 is a TFL Truck or TFL Car patch. And, of course, $50, we will send you a TFL Trucker hat. Signed or not signed, it's up to you. If you do send us anything in the Super Chat, please also send an email to info@tflcar.com with your address so we know where to ship your stuff. And thanks for your support, guys.
So let's quickly jump on a couple of these. No, and no. Meaning that not the mid-engine Corvette, no way is that going to show up at the show.
Nope, not this year.
Cadillac, will give us a second on that. And then somebody else earlier, I think it was the Mustang guy, said or asked about Bronco.
Nope.
Bronco is going to be a while. So,
well, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this is a car that most of you guys have probably never heard of before. And like I said, it's a Chinese electric car startup. So this is called the Byton, M-Byte, and K-Byte. It's slated to go into production in the fall of 2019. And we're told it may start around $45,000 with a 250 horsepower, 295 pound-foot of torque powertrain.
Now, I have had an opportunity to talk to these people. I'm going to hopefully get some good interviews and possibly a little bit of interior time and possibly talk to one of their designers, because this is a company that's been very quietly building up a lot of funds. They have part of their corporation is based, of course, in China, but also part of it's in Europe. And they're definitely starting to make a little bit of a push into North America. They were at CES earlier. So they have some stuff going on. If you want to go online and find them, Byton, they are on YouTube. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I think the cars are looking really cool.
They look cool,
and unlike Faraday Future, whose future is a little, we're not too sure, and then of course Tesla, this is another player who could very well be a real player. And the idea of getting a vehicle like this that starts at $45,000 is very cool.
And that is a Tesla fighting price tag.
Indeed it is.
Sure.
Yeah, big time. So this could be a real player. So just keep an eye out for that.
One cool feature that they are kind of purporting right now is a 49-inch shared experience panoramic touchscreen dashboard. So look at that thing, dude.
Yeah,
49 inches.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. So I don't know. I mean, it could be 3 screens put together with some sort of thing.
It looks pretty seamless.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It also looks like it does have little
See what I mean?
sections that are cut up.
So it may have that. Really cool looking stuff, cool looking tech. It's one of those things where wouldn't it be great if we could get an affordable electric car with all that cool stuff? So
That
who
would
knows?
be really cool. This is the first U.S. appearance after debuting in Shanghai. But that's all we know about it so far. We'll just have to wait till the LA Auto Show.
Yeah, you'll be getting some updates for sure.
Up next is the Lincoln Aviator.
Mhm.
So back in New York last year, we saw what was technically a concept of the Lincoln Aviator, although it looked like it was basically a production-ready model.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if there's any big changes this year. It looks like they're just going to show us technically the production-ready version of the Aviator. Some interesting things about the Aviator. It's a rear-wheel drive platform, which is kind of cool. And there might be a hybrid version coming here to the U.S.
We'll see what happens with that. By the way, thanks for your comments, guys. I'll do my best not to cut the mic out by raising my arm. It must be my horrible underarm odor.
It smells terrible here, guys.
But we will cover, we'll be talking about the Hyundai Palisade in a moment.
We'll get there. Chase Younggreen asks, will Mike's real dad show up at the show? Probably not. He's in Seattle, Washington, so I don't think he's going to get down here.
It's going to be, whenever I meet his actual father, it's going to be a really uneasy moment when I'm like, oh, hi,
tension.
I'm the guy who people think is your son's father.
Well, also, people think Roman's my dad for some reason. Nobody here is my dad.
Somebody else said I look like Steven's dad.
Yeah, apparently Steven is your Canadian son.
So apparently if the kid is large, he must be my son. Well, I did have a very active life in college, so who knows. All right, let's continue.
Up next is, there's a bunch of things coming out from Toyota at this year's LA show. So the 4Runner, the Highlander, and the Camry will all be getting a special edition called Nightshade. Yeah.
Black paint.
It's a blackout package. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be available on the 4Runner Limited trim or the SE trim on the Camry and the Highlander. And tell them what you get with the Nightshade package.
Black alloy wheels, window molding, black mirror caps, door handles, and badges that are black.
Everything's black. Black as night. Night as day.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Everybody's doing it, so I
get it. It's a blackout package.
But the same Nightshade, you just think it's going to be something badass, and it's just a little paint.
Nightshade.
So.
I think the 4Runner looks kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, okay.
But there you go. We don't know much about pricing yet. We do know exactly what comes on the package, but we'll learn more in LA. There's a couple other special edition Toyotas or special versions of Toyotas coming out. So the Camry and the Avalon are both getting a TRD makeover. And it looks like it's just an appearance package at the moment.
At the moment, which includes wheels, spoilers, painted brake calipers. Those will help you stop faster. Mm-hmm. We don't know if they're including any performance upgrades. However, we do know that they have things like a TRD exhaust package, intake, and whatnot. So that's a possibility, and if so, who knows? Maybe that'll help. The one thing I could tell you is that the Avalon, we actually drove the one that was a lot more sporty. What was that?
It was like the touring trim or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and that thing actually was downright fun for an Avalon. So I'm curious if they can up the ante a little bit.
It's their naturally aspirated V6. It is front-wheel drive, but it had adaptive suspension.
Yep.
Pretty good sounding exhaust, actually, even just the non-TRD one. So
and decent steering for such a big car.
Decent steering, very decent steering, actually. What do you think, though? Do you like the look of the Camry TRD? I mean, we haven't seen the whole thing yet. We've kind of just seen this one little front clip of it.
Toyota's been using these wheels for a while on other vehicles, and I'm not a big fan of the wheels particularly. The size is fine. It's just, I don't know, I'm just not really into the design of the wheels, but that's not saying that the rest of it's not great. I really wish they'd do something about the grille on both of these cars. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a little big, but that's another minor thing. Well, let us know what you guys think, but there's more from Toyota.
Oh, there's even more. Yeah, Multipurpose Reviewer asks, is Toyota going to release anything new other than appearance stuff? Turns out, yes, they are.
Yes, they are, and that's coming up next.
The 2019 Toyota Prius will be making its debut at the LA Auto Show. We only have one photo so far. It's that one, where it's covered in snow.
There's a reason for this.
There is a reason for this. Toyota announced the 2019 Prius as ready for sunshine or snow. And snow is important because it hints at there potentially being an all-wheel drive version of the Prius. Right, which is, nothing. It's something they haven't done before.
Correct.
And it would be really interesting, I think, for them to release an all-wheel drive Prius because it would open them up to a whole new market of buyers.
It would, and on top of that, it's one of those things where they already have the technology and they've been using it for years. If you look at the RAV4, that has a hybrid version which has electric motors powering the rear wheels.
Yep.
And I have a feeling that they did that with the Prius, but we don't know for sure, and we won't know until the LA Auto Show. More importantly, we don't know what it looks like, but if you take a look at the side of it, it looks like they cleaned up the overzealous lines. And
it's a little less aggressive.
maybe it might be a little bit of a better looking vehicle, I hope.
It also has some ski bars. Or some roof bars.
Those roof bars are good for speed.
Yep.
They're like double spoilers.
Yep.
But there's more.
There is more. Toyota will also be revealing the Corolla sedan. So you and I, back in, March, I think it was, went to San Diego and we drove the 2019 Corolla hatchback.
Correct.
Which was like an updated version of the IM hatchback, but now it's the Corolla hatchback.
That was a good car.
Anyways, the sedan version will be making its debut at the LA Auto Show.
Nope.
But a little before that, actually.
Yes, actually, Thursday, November 15th, which is just a couple days from now. And the reason why I jumped on that immediately is because I'm going to be there covering it.
Oh, yeah?
It's actually going to be happening during the RAV4 event that I'm attending. And so it's going to happen in conjunction with the unveiling that's happening in China at the same time.
Wow.
So, yep, prepare for that.
This is a spoiler image we have, a little teaser, if you will.
Yep.
You can see that it has headlights really similar to the Corolla hatchback that we drove a few months ago. And that was a really fun car, by the way.
Yeah, I really like that car. I really did. I wish it had more power, but...
Only 168 horsepower, because not turbocharged. Maybe that'll happen eventually someday. We don't know. We would love to see Toyota push that platform a little bit
They have
more.
a 203 horsepower four-cylinder engine that would fit right in there.
It would just slide right in. So Toyota make it happen. But we expect it to share powertrains with the Corolla hatch, etc. So that's it for Toyota. The new cars are the Corolla sedan and the Prius. And then there's some different trims coming. Moving on to Nissan, who has already teased at the new Maxima, which isn't like a complete redesign, but it is a big facelift from the current Maxima.
Right. But they don't have much information about anything changing with the drivetrain. Now, currently it has a 300 horsepower, 3.5 liter V6. Hooked up to a continuously variable transmission, which is, well, frankly, what Nissan likes to do. Question is, will it get the 2-liter VC turbo from the Altima? And that is a hot little engine.
It's a really cool engine, actually.
Will it get all-wheel drive? It's actually got a platform that can run on all-wheel drive. It's the same platform as the Murano. Will these things change? We don't know. We actually got very little information, but we'll be covering whatever they do at the show.
But this is the new look, so you can tell what it looks like. That engine, we got to drive it in the new, was it the Infiniti QX50,
That's right, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think there's an unfiltered real-world buddy review on TFLnow. You can go watch that video and see how that engine performs up here at my low sea level with 4 dudes in the car. 3 plus a cameraman? Or 3? Anyways.
Yeah.
Cool video, cool engine. I would love to see that go in the new Maxima. But that's all we know for now. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to the Genesis G90.
So the G90 is the biggest sedan that Genesis sells here in the U.S., right? And it's going to be facelifted for 2019 or 2020?
I'm not sure.
Not sure on the model year, but they are facelifting it with a more aggressive look. That's the teaser image we have.
Dude, doesn't that look like a Mustang? When I first saw that, I kept thinking, no, you sent me the wrong image. That's Mustang. Doesn't it look a little bit like a Mustang?
It looks like a Mustang or like a Charger. Kind of a weird mix between the two.
And who knows? Hyundai. It's hard to see where they're well, Hyundai / Genesis. It's hard to see where their design is going because recently they've had cool stuff and at the same time not so cool stuff. Yeah. Have you seen the Sonata?
Yeah.
The really slim.
Yeah, that's no good.
It's strange. I don't know. Just see. Let us know what you guys think.
I expected the G90 or I still kind of expect it to look a little bit more like the G70.
Yeah.
With kind of that bigger front grille, the sporty, more aggressive styling. We're going to have to just wait a little bit longer. We do think it's going to be revealed closer to the show and maybe even a little before it. So stay tuned to TFLcar.com because we will be updating you guys as soon as we know more.
Absolutely. TJ Moore says it's 2020 for the G90. I hope you're right. Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Speaking of the Hyundai parent company, to Kia.
Kia, the new Soul. So the 2000, I guess this is a 20 Soul, will be making its debut at the LA Auto Show. We've been seeing a lot of it lately. This is a spy photo we got recently from one of our viewers. We even saw some testers up in the mountains.
Up in the mountains, yeah.
That's a clip or a screenshot from one of those videos. And there's a few interesting rumors surrounding this new Kia Soul, one of which is that it will be available with all-wheel drive.
That finally fulfills something they've been talking about with Kia for years, with the Soul, and that is that it is a crossover. They keep saying it's a crossover. They've tried so many times to convince us. Well, you put all-wheel drive on that baby, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a crossover.
It's a crossover. Yes. It's a really small crossover, but it is a crossover.
That's correct, and there's more to it because it's a possibility that the new Soul will also have the new EV system, possibly a similar one that's used in the Niro, and that could be possibly an inexpensive EV. You know who has an EV current model Kia Soul?
Alex Dykes from
That's
Alex
right.
on Autos.
Our buddy Alex.
We had him on the show last week, right?
That
At
is
the beginning
correct.
of the week. Really cool dude. Go check out Alex on Autos for some of the best in-depth reviews on YouTube, I swear.
Absolutely, after you watch ours.
After you watch ours, then go to his. So we don't know exactly what the new Soul will look like. We do know it has these new headlights that you can kind of see peering through the covering there. It'll have a new design. And what's interesting about the all-wheel drive one, I think, is that they did come out with a concept Kia Soul a few years ago.
Yeah, they've actually had a few concepts.
That was an all-wheel drive concept.
Yep.
It was a hybrid all-wheel drive concept, I believe. So I think the back wheels were powered by an electric motor, front wheels powered by the gas motor.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to wait till LA to find out more. But that's a very popular car for Kia. And I think, actually,
it's their most popular car.
I think that's one of the cars that has brought Kia from where it was 10 years ago to where they are now. Which is a real competitor in the segment. Up next is something I'm very excited about.
Yeah, go for it. You tell everybody about it. I'm going to look at some comments.
The new Porsche 911, the 992 generation is upon us, and it's going to be revealed in LA. So what we know so far is that they're going to be all wide bodies. So this picture you guys see right here is the current generation, the 991.2 GT3 RS. And it is a wide-body 911. So the new generation, the 992, is going to look, in some ways, a lot like this GT3 RS. It's not going to have the wing or the crazy vents or things like that, but it will be, size-wise, pretty similar. We do also know that the 992 generation is going to be about an inch longer than the 991 models, but otherwise, we don't know a whole lot. I believe you and I caught a 992 testing in the mountains a while ago,
A while ago, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was over a year ago, wasn't
It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
And it sounded turbocharged, but they already turbocharged engines in the 911 range. We don't know a whole lot about what's going to happen, but I'm really excited to see what it looks like, even though it's going to look almost identical to the current 911 because they never changed looks that much.
Yes. Now, speaking of Germans, we're going to move on to BMW. They've got a few things going
They have a
on.
lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so let's try to power through this. But maybe before we do, a couple of people were asking about a new Mini Cooper or a Chrysler, and also a new Honda Element, I think is what I saw.
Ooh.
Somebody was talking about, a lot of people are talking about the Element.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
No.
I
No,
can
not
tell
yet.
you that Honda has built, specifically when they built the HR-V, it was to replace the Element. And they made it really clear when I went to that event in Miami a couple years back. So, yeah, sorry, that's not going to be happening.
Unfortunately not.
Let's move on to BMW.
Yeah, so the first vehicle we know to be coming from BMW at the LA Auto Show is, of course, the Z4 Roadster. There's two variants that we know about already. We know a lot about the Z4 already.
Yeah.
I think it made its official debut at Pebble Beach this year.
It did indeed.
But we'll be seeing it in person at the LA Show. So there's the S-Drive 30i with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and the M40i with the 3-liter straight-six turbo. Two very common engines in the BMW lineup.
Yeah.
And we also know that it's going to be, or it is being, or has been, jointly developed with the Toyota Supra. The Supra, however, will be revealed in Detroit.
Yeah,
we finally did learn that.
This January, folks.
Between the two, I think the Z4 looks a lot better.
I am down with 100%. Yeah, I'm not. You know, then again, we haven't seen the Supra in its actual regular trim.
No, we've
so
seen like the race car version and the camouflage versions.
I'm hoping, because I used to love the Supra. I've loved almost every Supra they've made. Look at this, the BMW 3 Series. What a surprise.
The 3 Series is coming out in LA as well. I actually just did a video today about the 3 Series, so if you want to learn a whole lot more about the 3 Series, you can go over to TFLnow, or stay here on TFLnow, and check out that video. It's going to be bigger than the outgoing 3 Series. It's going to be more powerful than the outgoing 3 Series. It's going to be lighter than the outgoing 3 Series, and presumably faster and more fuel efficient, although we don't know exactly yet. We do know it's going to be on sale in March of 2019 for the base trim, the 330i with the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder.
Right.
There is an M340i variant coming later in the spring in 2019. So that's like right around the corner. We expect to be hopefully driving one of those in the near future, and of course we're going to see it in person at LA. More from BMW though, because we're not done yet.
Somebody's asking, what about the Z4M?
Oh. Well, there is the M Performance model, but we don't know about a Z4.
They haven't announced anything official, but most likely it's going to happen. That's.
I'm sure.
I
would be surprised if they didn't.
Let's get to the X5.
The X5 has also been updated for 2019. So there's a bunch of new stuff to talk about. Of course, a new design. Specifically, there's some new LED headlights and a couple new engines. One of which is a 4.4-liter turbocharged V8. With 456 horsepower, which is a lot.
That
is
a 479 pound-feet of torque. So that's going to be a beast.
That's going to be a one quick SUV. How do you like the X5?
I don't. The thing about the X5 was that it was never, to me, it wasn't off-road capable, and it was kind of big and overpowered for the track, so it just didn't seem like it really had a place to fit. But I know for a fact that with the M version of this vehicle a few years back that I took on the track, it did things physics shouldn't allow.
It's insane.
It's nuts, and that was really cool. So having a more family-friendly version of it, that's cool. The fact that they're showing this thing plowing through the desert with wheels that are larger than most humans, I'm not sure about that.
They did it for the picture, I'm sure.
Yeah, but we have something that is an important follow-up to that, and that is the X7.
The largest BMW SUV to date, get this, 203.3 inches long. So it's basically as long as a large sailboat. It'll start at $74,895 for the xDrive 40i or $93,595 for the xDrive 50i. Yep. And the xDrive 50i is that same 4.4-liter turbocharged V8 that we were just talking about in the X5. This is also going to be going on sale in March of 2019. So BMW is going to have a lot of stuff going on sale in March of 2019. It's a big vehicle, dude. I mean, look at that thing. It is huge.
It is the biggest BMW I've ever seen, and well, in terms of a car-based vehicle. So I'm really curious to see how it does against vehicles from Rover and from the United States, like Cadillacs. Yeah. And even the Lincoln Navigator to a lesser extent. So
yeah, I think that'll be a good competitor.
It will be, and it's going to be interesting to see. And that's the type of vehicle, that one and the X5, definitely need to be up here so we can test them because snow.
Oh yeah, we got to give those a shot.
But what comes up next is something that's very dear to your heart and to our producer's heart.
Yeah, the 8 Series Cabriolet or convertible has also been, we've already seen it, it's right there, but we're going to see it in person at LA. A reported 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds from BMW, 155 mile per hour top speed, which is electronically limited.
Yeah.
The same 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8. This time, though, it makes 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque, and I will never afford one because they start at $121,400, which is a lot of money for a big BMW Roadster. Of course, there is a coupe version of this car. We've already seen it as well, but the Cabriolet or the convertible specifically will be at the LA show. Do you want to do some shout-outs?
Yeah, before we do, somebody mentioned a Viper, Dodge Viper.
Oh.
Now, actually, someone else said, and it's never coming back, it's gone or whatever, there is a rumor that they are considering bringing it back and doing so in such a way to where it is a bridge between Alfa Romeo and Dodge in terms of performance brands. Yeah. So that's been the rumor. It's come from a few people, some of which are fairly entrenched and sometimes are accurate. So we can cross our fingers. I love the Viper, so I really wish they would bring it back. So that answers that question right there.
And I've never gotten to drive a Viper, so I wish they would bring it back
you need
so
to
I could drive one. Some shout outs I did want to make. Jimay, that might be completely wrong, said, love how interactive you guys are with the chat. Well, thank you very much. We like interacting with you guys. That's why the live show is so fun, is because we do actually get to talk with you guys live. What else? There was one other that I wanted to point out. Where did it go? Where is it?
Well, while you're looking for that, somebody else said Chrysler's dead. No, they're not dead yet.
Chrysler's not dead yet.
You know why? Because they have a money van that is doing very well. I called it a money van.
A money van. It is a money van. They make a lot of money off
They really do. Yes, they really. Right now, only 2 vehicles remain, really. It's their minivan and the Pacifica and the 300.
Yeah.
Although the minivan has a hybrid version, which is actually a really damn good vehicle as well.
It is a good vehicle. I think the minivan is like the perfect application of hybrid technology.
I agree with you 100%. And Roman and I predicted that about 5 years ago, by the way. We're on record.
It's just like the one vehicle that you need, or that can best use that technology, I think, is the minivan. Because think about how many trips you can make with a minivan that are short enough that you can use just electricity.
Oh, school groceries, right? And going to get large amounts of drugs if you're in Miami.
What?
Nothing. The point is that Chrysler is supposed to be bringing out a couple new versions of vehicles that are basically based on Alfa Romeos. What they are exactly? Well, they've been keeping us guessing. I have a feeling that they're going to be small sedans that'll be better than the 200. And what do they call that other thing that they got rid of?
Other than the 200?
I think that's about all they got rid of.
The Sebring?
Sebring.
That was the 200,
That was
right?
the 200,
yeah. Smith Jones said earlier, I just selfishly want to point this out. He just watched the video about the features of the new 3 Series, liked it, looks great. Jag and Volvo also look great, though. I agree. Ready?
Yep.
Ding, Michael Roy, $5 Canadian. Welcome to the. We'll count that.
You.
Welcome to the hood, Michael. Appreciate it. Michelle? Yeah, there's no A in there. Tell me if it's Michael or Michelle, please. I don't want to get that wrong. But welcome to the hood. Thank you very much for the donation. Okay, one more BMW to get through before we have to move on to another manufacturer.
Well, we were avoiding this. There's a reason why.
Avert your eyes.
Yeah.
Young children.
Hit it!
The Vision I Next concept.
Ooh.
A future-focused new flagship SUV with production slated for 2021. Of course, it's going to be all electric, and I really hope it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it looks like something from Demolition Man or something that.
It looks like an angry beaver. It looks like it's like about to gnaw your face off with its electric motors.
It's definitely something that might even take it back, or how should I put it? Let's just say that it's a design that we're all kind of hoping that they just look at for inspiration and they don't actually build.
Yeah, it's a design language idea. I'm not crazy about it. I want to know what you guys think about the Vision I Next concept.
Wheels are cool.
Sure. Yeah, the wheels are cool.
Let's move on to the Audi e-tron GT. That's going to be a cool car.
That will be cool.
Now, we've already covered the car, but this is kind of cool because, well, check it out.
Yeah, so, of course, the Audi e-tron, not the GT version, the e-tron itself is kind of like an electric Q8, basically. That's how I like to think of it. But the e-tron GT is an all-electric 4-door coupe. So it's going to be the second debut after the e-tron SUV, and it's part of Audi's plan to reveal 20 new electric models by 2025. So the e-tron SUV was the first one, the e-tron GT is the second one, and then I guess we're going to see 18 others in the next 5 years.
Then we got to power through the rest of this because we're running a little bit.
Yeah, we are running out of time.
So the next one, and you guys are asking for it, and here it is, the Hyundai Palisade.
So Hyundai is going to build a 3-row, 8-passenger SUV to replace the Santa Fe XL. The XL is the carryover of the 3-row Santa Fe, basically, but Hyundai introduced a new 2-row Santa Fe earlier this year, so they're going to ditch the XL, replace it with the Palisade. We've seen a lot of teasers, and we know it's based on the earlier HTC-2 Grandmaster concept, which looks really interesting. And it may be at least somewhat related to the upcoming Kia Telluride.
I suspect it is, but we'll know for sure after we see it at the show.
I would guess.
Now, it's named for the Pacific Palisades in California, which is kind of a nice place near the beach. And there's a picture that was recently leaked on a Russian website prior to its official debut.
So that is supposedly what it'll look like. It is just a leaked picture. It's not official yet. Ding. Multipurpose Reviewer asks, is FCA going to unveil a Hellcat Grand Caravan? Dude, I wish. That would be sweet. That would be so cool.
I tried talking them into a few interesting things, including the possibility of changing some of their engines and switching over to perhaps a Hellcat small sedan. You know, how cool would that be if it was the size of, the Dodge Dart?
I still just want to see the elephant engine put in something, dude. That would be so cool.
We got a Suzuki Samurai right over there that would love a elephant engine.
Dodge, make it happen.
Okay, Mazda. Well, big news for Mazda. The Mazda 3 will debut at the Los Angeles Auto Show. Now, we've been really lucky. Mm-hmm. They've invited us to the official unveiling where we'll be able to see it in the flesh before the show.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've been doing for the past few years. We did it with the 5. We've done it with other models where they've done it during the LA Auto Show, off-site, at a special venue. So we're going to cover that. We will be there.
Of course, there's a lot of stuff we can surmise about the new Mazda 3. But one thing that, you know, we're not exactly sure on, but pretty sure on at this exact moment is the introduction of the Skyactiv X engine, which is a spark-controlled compression ignition engine.
For sure. It's pretty much certain.
Okay, so we're certain at this point.
Yeah, boss is certain, then we're certain.
So basically it combines sort of the best traits of gasoline engines with the best traits of diesel engines, ideally producing better fuel economy with lower emissions, which is kind of, you know, that's what we need to keep gas engines alive, right?
And meanwhile, good performance.
Right.
So they've definitely gone a long way to change the exterior of the cars. We've known about the Skyactiv X for a while.
Yeah.
Our producers actually had an opportunity to ride with them and test out the engine itself. So seeing that in this new car would make sense. Hopefully they'll be able to do it.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm excited because I really like where Mazda's going with their external design.
Yeah.
And for such a small car company, they're a powerhouse when it comes to their engine design. So very cool stuff.
Indeed. Of course, this is a teaser image. Oh, wait.
No, that's the.
This is the teaser image. Is this like an artist rendering?
Yeah, no, that's the a concept that they're basing the car on.
Right.
So it should look similar to that.
Something like
Probably
that.
Not quite as radical.
But last but not least,
Before we get to it, a couple of things. Of course, you know you have to talk about Mazda.
Zach
is a Mazda guy. He's a big Mazda guy.
So, I did actually have a chance to drive the Skyactiv X prototype back in January. It was remarkably smooth when I drove it. It wasn't quite ready for prime time, but it felt really close. So it would absolutely make sense for them to debut it in LA.
Okay.
The other thing is the 2019 Mazda CX-5 with the 2.5 turbo engine will also be at the show. It's only available on 2 new trim levels, the Grand Touring Reserve and the Signature. So that is the major change there. Other than that, car looks the same as before.
So it's the same turbocharged engine that they recently put in the Mazda 6.
Right. And the CX-9.
And the CX-9. So a lot of power going to the CX-5, and hopefully that'll eventually work its way to the Mazda 3, and we might have something kind of cool, but that's just a hope.
That is a hope, but we got to do this really fast.
Hit it.
Which is super relevant. Joey Caraballo.
Oh, who is the boss
Who
in the
is the
background?
boss talking in the background? That's our producer, Zach. He is our resident Mazda guy. Our producer, he keeps the show running smoothly.
He's also the editor of TFLcar.com.
Exactly. So a lot of the articles you'll see on TFLcar.com are written or edited. Everything's edited by that guy. But he's a huge part of what keeps our engine running here at TFL Car.
And he's the voice of God. So
That's
when he speaks, we have to stop talking and listen to everything he says intently. And you need to listen to this, guys. Jeep truck announcement. Well, it's not an announcement.
Well, no. But we do know that the Jeep truck, potentially called the Gladiator, will be making its debut at the LA Auto Show, finally.
Yes, finally. Now, a lot of you guys were, just like me, thought it would be called the Scrambler. Mm-hmm. There was even a forum. There is a forum that's called the Scrambler Forum, which I really hope they change their name or put a slash and Gladiator next to it. And there's a good reason for calling it the Scrambler. There was, a CJ5 and CJ8 that was based on the platform of the CJ5, basically 7, if I can get the numbers right. Anyway, the point is that it was sort of kind of a pickup, but not quite. But the Gladiator, now that was an actual pickup truck. It was purpose-built, and it survived for a very long time, 1962 to 1988. Now, in that time, it was called the Gladiator for some of its production life, but that went away, and they started calling it other things, including the J-Series. So there were a bunch of other names that they used in the military. So this was a truck that existed for a very long time. And if they use the name Gladiator, it makes total sense. I'm kind of hoping they do because it's kind of a badass name. I mean,
Yeah.
Scrambler, Gladiator. You know what I mean? They're different. Hit it.
Ding. Michelle/Michael Roy. Where can I get the black and red TFL truck hat? Well, if you send $50 US right here to the super chat, we will send you one of those hats. That's the only way to get it. It's a way for us to give back to the people who watch the show live and those people who support us through the super chat. So that's the only way to get those hats.
However, if you're interested in other types of swag, we do have swag from Teespring, which
Yeah.
you can find on many of our videos and on our websites.
We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, mugs, coffee mugs.
I don't know if we
stuff
still
like
have
that. We
those,
have
but
all sorts of
like
stuff.
that. Yeah.
But you can find that, I think, in the description below. There's a link to our Teespring page. But yeah, the Jeep truck is the last vehicle on our list, and it's actually the one that I think I'm the most excited about for the LA Auto Show. We've been hearing about a Jeep truck for a long, long time at this point.
For years.
It's been getting delayed, and we're finally going to see it. I think it's going to be one of those vehicles that's kind of a perfect mix of like a lot of things, right? You get the Jeep off-road ability, the usability of a truck, some cool looks, a cool name. I'm really excited for it.
We'll work on that.
I want TFL undies. Yeah, me
Um,
too. I could use some free underwear.
Well, don't you use underoos?
No.
Okay. So the thing is, yeah, we'll have to work on the. I've been trying to get TFL panties made, and Roman keeps saying no. So then I thought stockings, and he said no. So he won't work with me on this.
There's one catch. Nathan will have to be the model on the website for the undies. So be careful what you wish for.
You really don't want to see that.
No
trust
one
me.
wants to see that.
But we appreciate it nonetheless.
Before we get out of here, what are you most looking forward to seeing at the LA Auto Show?
Well, the Jeep truck, because we're Jeep people,
Mhm.
and that's huge. I'm really curious about the Mazda. I want to see what they've done with it. I've been so happy. Like Zach, I'm a bit of a Mazda-phile. I've owned, well, with my wife, 3 of them,
Wow.
and plus other vehicles that have had Mazda components in them from Ford. And I really like the company. I like what they do, and I really hope that this is a big hit for them. It should be, but it's hard to tell. But I'm also curious about the, what the Genesis is going to look like.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of an
Yeah,
interesting
that had
thing.
it has a cool look underneath all that.
Hell yeah.
All that covering.
What about you?
Besides the Jeep truck, I'm really excited for the 911, the 992 generation.
Of course.
I'm kind of a Porsche fanboy. My grandpa was a big Porsche guy, so he unfortunately passed that down to me. Anything else?
Guys,
Actually, the Byton looks kind of.
we have
cool
another.
Too. Oh gosh, look at that! Wow. Ding. Where was it?
So you were asking about the 3.6 liter Pentastar versus the turbo. Which one will I buy? Now, if I had to get an automatic transmission vehicle, then I would probably go for the turbo because, frankly speaking, it's a really good engine. But I like manual transmissions, and as far as I know, the only manual transmission available through the Wrangler / most likely Jeep truck will be with the 3.6 liter Pentastar, which, by the way, is the only application that you can get through FCA that has the 3.6 hooked up to a manual transmission. The new manual is so much better than the old one. It's awesome. So yeah, that's what I'd get.
I am personally okay with an automatic transmission in a Jeep, so I'd probably go for the 2-liter turbo because it's a really cool engine.
Mike Perez, how are you guys doing? We're doing okay. We're getting all ready to go for all of these new shows that are coming up right around the corner, and a lot of events. Right now, Roman's at an event. Andre's at an event. What's Roman at? What event?
Roman's the A6, A7.
A6, A7. Andre's at the Byton event for.
It's a big Chevy lineup. So
Yeah,
it's the Bison. It's also the Silverado
That's
with
right.
the turbo 4-cylinder. And then they're both going to go meet each other for the 2019 F-150 Raptor event.
And a little bit of dinner and a little bit of dancing too.
Of course. And I think, can we announce this, that they're gonna, or can we announce their plans from the Raptor event?
Just stay tuned to
Stay
TFL
tuned for
Okay.
new stuff coming out.
Okay.
We got to wrap. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. And, this will turn into a video later on, and we will go over it and try to answer a few more questions. So, with that, why don't you find the music and play us out, Sonny boy.
Ooh, nailed it.
Seriously, we don't look alike other than being big guys,
Not
right?
at all. I'm blonde and blue-eyed. You're not.
I'm not. Awesome looking stuff.
See you guys.